Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode with Alfa Romeo, episode number 82 today for the I Fallen Asleep Grand Prix in season 6, round number 3. If you have of course missed the previous episode where I also fell asleep, then I recommend you go and check out the opening video race of the season where I didn't fall asleep as well, and you'll be able to see all the liveries and teams in action that we've got throughout this final 10 race season of ours. But anyway, let's have a look at some R&D then. We're getting there, I think. Engine is not really that too much. We've got that minor weight reduction one. I'm just waiting to get enough R&D points to do these ultimate upgrades. We've got 2 on the chassis that I really want to get done. The weight redistribution and the weight reduction. I'm thinking of going weight reduction because it looks like the weight reduction might help us a little bit with the cornering. I don't know. And then we've got these aero. We've also got that dragged one done down the middle. So, well, again, we've got a left and a front and a rear one. Engine wise, I'm not really looking to upgrade the engine until all the required aero upgrades are really done. We don't really need it, to be honest. We're maxed out on engine power. We've done it apart from one of the team's upgrades, but that drag reduction upgrade did come through, and we're still in second to last place, but ultimately we will move up. We only need those 2 ultimate upgrades there on the front and rear downforce, and we will move ahead of Red Bull. So that's a little bit, and there goes that minor weight reduction upgrade as well. So that's going to help, hopefully help a bit around Monaco, but we're still not close enough to getting off this second to last place. McLaren, how far they've dropped throughout this series. They've not been, but they've at times, Lando Norris has been overdriving that car lately, especially compared to his teammate Luca Giotto. Renault sort of now said Alfa Tauri have overtaken Red Bull, so that's something they didn't see. I mean, Alfa Tauri definitely on the move after falling behind Renault Bahrain. They're now the 3rd fastest team on the grid. Ferrari don't have any upgrades because they're maxed out. So but yes, during qualifying, between practice and qualifying though, we need to get these upgrades on as soon as possible. So we're going to put this front ultimate weight reduction upgrade on. Unfortunately, it's going to come out between the Canadian and British Grand Prix. The Azerbaijan and Canadian Grand Prix are both Thursday and Friday this week on the channel, already recorded. So that's going to put us a big chunk towards Renault on the chassis performance. So hopefully we can get some better results and be a little bit more comfortable in the car with that upgrade on. But moving to qualifying, it's overcast, no rain is forecast. Whether or not that's accurate or not, we don't know, because because obviously, of course, this is F1 2020. We haven't got to F1 2021 within the accurate weather forecast, but there is a bit of sun out actually later in the session, so it's not all doom and gloom here at Monaco. Through the first corner, a little bit of iffy escape over the bumps there at turn 1, but we do then gain a little bit of time back at Casino. It's not a huge amount of time. We're down in P17. Verstappen, the less said about him, down in 18th the better. Through the hairpin, gaining a little bit of time there, making sure not to scrape the front wing. It is so hard that corner on a pad without going about 12 miles an hour. Through the tunnel then, can we gain any time through the tunnel? No is the answer. We're going to go down to the chicane, gaining a little bit there, about 10th on the exit there, out of the overall chicane. Through the swimming pool section, gaining not too much time there as we approach the final part through into Raskas. A little bit of 10th gain there. Through the final corner, Anthony knows up to the line. It's half a second improvement, but what's it going to be? P14. Oh, you know what? We'll take that. We can build on that. It's not bad considering the fact our car felt like a bus through some of the corners at Bahrain. Danny Kvyat up in 7th place, ahead of the AlphaTauris, ahead of the Renaults. He's done a madness there. His teammates behind us. Latifi's 16th, so that's a great job by Kvyat. But we'll see what we do. Hopefully Russell can improve as well for some points. It's time for the race.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Kvyat, Magnussen, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Giovinazzi, Norris, Luca Giotto and an Alfa Romeo, Joe, Latifi, George Russell and Lance Stroll, De Vries and Nobuharu Matsushita. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
We're hoping you can get some points in this race. Good luck.
I'm hoping so too, Jeff, but we don't know. This is Monaco. Strategy, just pretend you haven't seen the bottom strategy. Jeff clearly's been smoking something, suggesting mediums to hards in a 25% race. So we're going to do soft to mediums. We might as well make up the places on the start, follow the AI and not really trying to round the mediums. As 5 lights are out and away we go, and it's an okay start, being squeezed a bit by Norris and Giotto and the McLarens to the inside. We got contact there a little bit with Giovinazzi. We're trying to go past Gasly up the hill, nothing doing that. We have to settle behind both Frenchmen just outside the points. Can we get them now down into the middle sector? We're going to double dive bomb. Thank you very much, lady. And we're up into P9. So the points are there from the start of the race, which is good to see. I'm always very good at race starts. It's through the middle of the race that I tend to struggle, make up position. We force Ocon out into the path of Gasly, but Ocon does retain that position as Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel. This is season 6 Ferrari dominance is there. Sainz has jumped Albon. He's up into 3rd place. Not really sure what Sainz's form is going to be like. Bearing in mind he bottled the championship in season 5, but anyway, Kvyat is ahead of us on lap 5. We're trying to make it count. We're not really been able to. We're losing a lot of time to Kvyat in the final sector, but Kvyat came in on lap 6. We're going to lap 7 just to try and see if we can overcut him. Was a little bit slower through the final section. This is a Mercedes in as well. He'll come out ahead of us. I believe that is one of the Renaults. I think that is Giovinazzi. We'll see if we can come out ahead of Ocon. There goes one of the Haas cars, and there is Kvyat. So the overcut hasn't worked. In actual fact, Kvyat's got an undercut. But we are back out in front of the two, the two Frenchmen, Gasly and Ocon. But up ahead, Nick de Vries in the Haas car. Hopefully he can get involved. He's already slowing down. I think that's Bottas, Magnussen, and Kvyat a little bit. Unfortunately, de Vries came in at exactly the same lap, and we're back up into P9, exactly where we are. 1.4 the gap is, but unfortunately Kvyat had no pace on these mediums at all during this race, and really he's already extended the gap to 3 seconds. So you can already tell where this is going, because basically we're going to skip forward 9 laps, the 9 laps where I fell asleep during the Grand Prix, and we're woken up on the final lap where Charles Leclerc had won. Kvyat's 14.5 seconds up the road, and Ocon now has a go round into the Noble chicane. Round the outside, we just take the inside line. I have to take a deeper route through the chicane to leave him a bit more room. But we do defend our P9 and keep our P9 to finish the race with a bit of tyre banging with his our rear, but nothing menacing, nothing deserving of a penalty. And in the end, we come round the final corner to eventually finish this dreadful race of only P9. I mean, it is points. It could be worse. We didn't get points at Zandvoort, so we're back in the points. But considering the fact that the pace we had in the first stint on the soft tyres, the pace we had in the middle stint, the second stint, excuse me, on the mediums just evaporated. Obviously, I'm not expecting to be right at the front, but you know, to be able to challenge Kvyat, who's in this similar car, and he just walked away from me in the end, some 15 seconds up the road, which is just shocking. All 20 cars finished that race as well. So in terms of the Drivers' Championship, we retain P9 with 8 points, so 2 points there. Kvyat though closing in, him is ahead of Giovinazzi, who didn't score. Ocon only got 1 point as well. None of the other people really contend the top 8 in 2 faster cars really at this moment in time, and that really transfers to the Drivers' Championship. AlphaTauri, Gasly didn't score, so they dropped to 4th. Ferrari way out in front as usual.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just...
No comments.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
No.
Sounds like there's some work to do back at the factory.
I do hope that Claire is not on F1 2021. Otherwise, I think that her participation in this series surely has to come to an end. Surely we need a different interviewer in F1 2021, but we'll see. I thought she wouldn't be in this game, and yet she's been one of the biggest pains of this series. Anyway, we're getting closer and closer to getting this ultimate weight distribution upgrade on as well. That will be the final upgrade I'll be looking for. I'm not really looking for the brakes. It's not really an upgrade on particularly is high on the list. We've got a faster engine than McLaren, but obviously that's including ERS and fuel, which we don't need. So those 4 upgrades I'm happy to leave, as the durability as well. But yes, there we go. Leclerc is way out in front in this championship from Vettel. Sainz, Gasly now didn't score, so he dropped all the way from 2nd down to 5th. So Gasly can get 4th place, but he has to be 3rd place, excuse me. But he has to be consistent. He can beat Sainz and Verstappen, but he has to be consistent in this series, otherwise it's not going to work for him. Magnussen isn't scoring high enough to be, although he has that consistency. You see 6th, 8th and 7th, he's not being high enough. The same with Bottas, they're not scoring high enough so far to be able to challenge the likes of both Ferraris. Well, and then obviously we're just here we're not really in a car that can challenge for a win, unlike the top 4 teams. So there we go. If you have enjoyed then this, rather, excuse me, if you did fall asleep during this episode, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more episodes of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode. I can tell you that normal, interesting service with interesting races and actual overtakes will be resumed in Thursday and Friday's episodes. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.